Green Revolution in India. The Green Revolution was a turning point for agriculture in many developing countries, especially during the 1960s and 70s. It focused on increasing food production using high-yielding seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and modern irrigation techniques. Tractors and other machines also replaced traditional farming tools in several regions. The Green Revolution objectives were to avoid food shortages and make countries less dependent on imports. This initiative helped to increase the food production and reduce hunger crisis. It also created gaps. Small farmers couldn't always afford the new methods, and the overuse of chemicals harmed the environment and the soil. Green Revolution in India history. The Green Revolution in India was introduced during the 1960s when food scarcity had become a serious national concern. To tackle this, scientists introduced high-yielding seeds for crops like wheat and rice, which were first developed in places like Mexico and the Philippines. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, the father of Green Revolution, played a key role in bringing these changes to India, with support from Norman Borlaug. Farmers in regions like Punjab, Haryana, and western Uttar Pradesh quickly adopted the new methods using chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and better irrigation. It helped India achieve food security, but over time, problems like soil damage and water overuse also came to light. Green Revolution in India components. Several key factors laid the foundation for the Green Revolution in India, which includes high-yielding varieties, HYVs. The revolution focused on the use of HYV seeds mainly for wheat and rice. These were dwarf, high-output varieties that produced 2 to 3 times more than traditional crops. But they weren't low maintenance. These seeds needed more water, more fertilizer, and more protection from pests. Irrigation facilities. In 1960, only about 30 million hectares of land in India were irrigated. Expanding irrigation was essential to support the water-intensive HYVs. Credit and financing. Farmers couldn't afford modern seeds, fertilizers, or machinery on their own. A strong rural credit system, including cooperative banks and microfinance institutions, became important to fund the shift. Commercialization of agriculture. For the first time, farming became market-driven. With the government introducing minimum support prices, MSP, farmers now had guaranteed returns. This changed their approach from growing just enough for survival to growing for profit. Farm mechanization. New technology like tractors, threshers, and harvesters became part of the farming landscape. Mechanization saved time, reduced labor costs, and made large-scale farming feasible. Command Area Development Program, CADP, 1974, the CADP pushed for infrastructure development in irrigated areas. It had 2 parts. On-farm development like leveling land, building water channels, and preparing the soil. Off-farm development, by improving the infrastructure such as roads, markets, and rural transport to move produce efficiently. Chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Indian soils, especially in intensively farmed regions, lack sufficient nitrogen. To address this, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, fertilizers were recommended in a 4 to 2 to 1 ratio. Alongside, insecticides and herbicides were used to protect crops.